The House will come to order. The pledge will be led by Thomas Wilkes, Natalie Wilkes, Nora Wilkes, and Abby Mehmet and Ben Mehmet from Cherry Creek Challenge School, Denver, Colorado.
Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kohler, please call the roll.
Representatives Arndt, Becker J, Becker K, Representative Casey Becker, bless you.
Representative Casey Becker excused.
Brown, Buck, Buckner,
Representative Buckner excused.
Carver, Conti, Corum, Court. Representative Casey Becker is present. Representative Court. I don't have anybody.
Gesundheit. Representative Court excused.
Danielson. Del Grosso. Yes. Dorr. Duran. Esgar. Everett. Fields. It was Foote. Garnett. Janal. Hamner. Humphrey. Joshi. Kagan. Kaiser. Klingenschmidt. Kraft-Tharp. Landgraf. Lawrence. Lebsock. Lee. Lontine. Lundeen. McCann. Melton. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, there he is. Representative Buckner is present. Representative Melton is okay, present. Mitch Bush. Moreno. Navarro. Neville. Nordberg. Pabon. Pedersen. Primavera. Priola. Rankin. Ransom. Rosenthal. Rupe. Ryden. Sane. Representative Sane. Salazar. Representative Court is present. Sias. Singer. Tate. Thurlow. I got Tyler. Van Winkle. Vigil. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Winholz. Winter. Young. Madam Speaker.
Here. With 65 present, 0 absent or excused, a quorum is present. Representative Rupe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the reading of the Journal of Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, be dispensed with, and that it be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You've heard the motion that the journal be dispensed with and adopted as corrected by the Chief Clerk. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes really have it. Motion passes. Announcements and introductions. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem Pabot. And
Thank
would you
you.
excuse me for 2 seconds,
You bet.
Representative Pabot? Could we have everyone's attention for announcements and introductions, please? And please proceed, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, we have a very, very special guest today. We have the Ambassador of His Majesty to the Kingdom of Morocco here, Rashad Boulal, standing over to my left. Bonjour, Mr. Ambassador. The ambassador was appointed by King Mohammed VI as ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco to the United States of America on December 6, 2011. He previously served as the ambassador to Germany and to the European Union, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Ambassador Boulal also held the position of Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, Senior Advisor to the Prime Minister for Economic and Financial Affairs, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Trade Investments, Director of Fisheries, Minister of Fisheries and Merchant Marine, and Deputy Director of the Trade Division, Ministry of Finance. This is the ambassador's first time in Colorado, and we wanted to make sure that we brought him to the Colorado House of Representatives so that he could see the fine people who represent their constituents all over the state. So please join me in both. We've already welcomed him with our applause. Please introduce yourselves. He's only going to be here for a few minutes as he has to head to his next engagement, but please say hello if you have a few moments. Thank you.
And welcome to the House floor of Colorado, Mr. Ambassador. Enjoy our state. I know you will. Thank you. Further announcements and introductions. Representative McCann.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A reminder, Health, Insurance, and Environment Committee, we will be changing rooms this afternoon. We'll be in room 112.
Representative Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, Business Affairs and Labor Committee will be meeting today. We will not be changing rooms. We will be in LSBA. However, we will be switching the order of the bills that will be heard today. So if you're joining us and you wish to participate in House Bill 1307, Representative Escar's bill, that will go first. And then Minority Leader Del Grosso, Representative Janal, will be joining us for Senate Bill 137. We hope that you all join us this afternoon. Thank you.
Representative Williams.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, in the month of March, we have been recognizing our women in the state of Colorado. And we've had so many great women that we've recognized that we had a little bit of spillover, so we appreciate your patience. But today we're going to be recognizing women in business. And I want to begin by sharing with you that women-owned businesses in Denver employ more than 117,000 people. They account for 41.5% of all privately held firms in the metro area.
I know.
And they generate over 19 million in sales.
Yeah. Excuse me, Representative Williams. Could we have your attention at the well, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There are more than 12,200 women-owned employer firms in Denver. From 1997 to 2006, the number of these firms increased by 54%. In 1997 to 2006, women-owned businesses increased by 32.9%, and their sales increased by 15%. Firms that are privately held, out of which women own at least 51%, makes up 42% of all the private businesses owned in this state. Among all the 50 states and Washington, D.C., Colorado ranks 15th in the number of women-owned firms and 19th in employment. Women in business across the nation, women own 1 in every 5 firms. Women of color, the number of minority-owned women businesses grew 32% between 1997 and 2002, which is 4 times faster than all the firms in the United States. Yet despite their leadership, women of color only hold 1% of corporate offices in 400 of the Fortune 500 firms. So today I'm highlighting Nicole Singleton. Nicole Singleton is the president of the Colorado Black Chamber of Commerce. Prior to joining the Commerce, Singleton was the vice president of business development for the construction firm, where Single spearheaded efforts to design the Institute of the Rocky Mountain region. The Third inspired her to found the Third Eye Group. She served as the president of the Third Eye Group. Singleton has been responsible for providing executive leadership for organizations ranging in membership size of 200 over to 10,000 members. She was also previously selected as the top 20 under 40 by Colorado Construction magazines. She has her undergraduate from the University of Michigan, and she earned her MBA from Regis University. She has her master in the applied communication from the University of Denver, and she's a mom and a quilter and a jewelry maker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Representative Fields. And may we have your attention at the well, please?
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. I'm pleased to share the background and history of Aunt Claire Brown. Claire Brown was probably born into slavery in Virginia around 1800. Claire married when she was 18 and later gave birth to 4 children. Tragically, all of her children and her husband were sold to different people across the country. She vowed to work for the rest of her life to reunite her shattered family. Claire worked as a domestic servant until 1856, when her owner at the time, George Brown, died. Hearing that one of her daughters, Eliza, may have moved to West, Clara headed in that direction. She had money to travel, but blacks at that time were forbidden from buying a stagecoach ticket. Instead, she convinced a group of prospectors to take her with them. On the way to Colorado, Central City, in search of gold, she would work as their cook. The journey was long, it was rough, and Claire had to walk alongside the wagon for much of nearly 70-mile trek. Claire was one of the first African-American women to reach the gold mining towns of Colorado. Claire started by opening a small laundry service for the gold miners of Central City. The business was very successful, and she began saving her money to make even more money. She would cook, she would clean, and she would cater for some special engagements. By the end of the Civil War in 1865, when most black people were just gaining their legal freedoms, Claire had saved $10,000. This was a huge amount of money. With this wealth, she invested in mining claims and Colorado real estate. She could now support herself very well. In Central City, her business and her home became a community hub. Sick or injured miners, regardless of race, would often turn to her for help. Claire gave them a place to recover and cared for them until they were able to return to work. She also helped those who were homeless and needed a place to stay. Pregnant women in the town often wanted Claire to help her deliver their babies. She provided many of these services for free to those who were not able to afford them. In 1879, Claire acted as an official representative of the Colorado Governor Pitkin to Kansas. Many black people had escaped from the South and moved to the homestead in Kansas. Governor Pitkin sent Claire Brown to Kansas to try to pursue some of them to move to Colorado. Many jobs were available in Colorado due to mining strikes and labor shortages. Claire delivered Governor Pickton's invitation and donated some of her own money to support the new Black community. In 1882, when Claire was about 80, she received word from a Black woman hearing a strong resemblance of her daughter, named Eliza, lived in Council Bluff, Iowa. Aunt Claire immediately traveled to Iowa. They met in Iowa, and the two joyfully discovered that they were, in fact, mother and daughter. The story of their reunion was widely published in the newspaper in Colorado and throughout the Midwest. After 74 years of separation and searching, Claire's dream had finally come true. Eliza was the only child Claire ever found, and the two returned to Colorado, where they lived until Claire's death. Aunt Claire Brown passed away in her sleep just 3 years after being united with her daughter. Crowds flocked to her funeral. The mayor of Denver and the governor of Colorado even attended the ceremony. The Colorado's Pioneers Association made Claire Brown their first African-American member and funded her entire funeral. Claire Brown's name and reputation has lived on in the years since her death. A chair of the Central City Opera House was installed in her name in the 1930s. In 1977, Claire's life and achievements were commemorated with a stained glass portrait of her in the state capitol building. She also has a plaque on the St. James Methodist Church in Central City, which explains that her home served as the first church in the area. An opera about her life was also debuted in Central City in 2003. Often called the Angels of the Rockies, Claire Brown reflects the richness of African-American experience. She faced huge challenges and reached wonderful heights in her nearly 85 years. Turning her life into slavery, she looked for the West in search of her children. She then became one of the first African-American women to settle in Colorado. Claire was skillful in business and investments that earned her thousands of dollars. She also gained the reputation for being someone who cared about her community. She helped people of all races, but she worked especially hard to bring Black people out of poverty and out of enslavement.
Representative Navarro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm here to talk to you today about Mary Miller. Mary Miller, who earned the name Mother of Lafayette, left Iowa for Colorado with her husband, Lafayette Miller, in 1863. The couple moved to the Lafayette area in 1871 and began farming on land they acquired through the Homestead Act. They settled on a ranch south of what was to become Lafayette, Colorado. Lafayette Miller died in 1878, leaving Mary with 6 children to support and to run the ranch. She ran the farm very successfully on her own. In 1886, by the Boulder County Herald, she was quoted, considering the size of this farm, there is not a better managed large farm in Colorado than that of Miss Mary Miller. In the 1900s, Miss Mary Miller founded the Lafayette Bank and was elected president, distinguishing her as the only female bank president in the world. My friends, this is truly an amazing woman who demonstrates when you work hard for something that you want, this is what you do, and this is how you accomplish those dreams and those goals. Thank you.
Representative Kraftharp.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, very briefly, I'd like to talk to you about Mary Elidge Long, someone I think that most of us are familiar with. Ms. Long was more than the founder of the famed Elidge Gardens. She also earned a well-earned reputation as a businesswoman. In the male-dominated late 19th and early 20th century, she served as a powerful role model at a time where women had far fewer non-traditional role models to embrace. At the age of 16, she eloped with John Elidge Jr. They purchased an apple orchard 5 miles north of Denver, I think in Representative Pabone's district, if I'm not mistaken. And that apple orchard was then transformed into the Elidge's Zoological Gardens, Denver's first zoo. It was a wonderland of exotic animals, orchards, and gardens. I have more information I'd like to share with you about Mary Elidge Long. Please join me sometime this morning. I'd be happy to share it with you. Thank you.
Representative Esgar.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. We would be remiss if we're talking about women in Colorado in business if we didn't talk about a woman of labor as well. I am speaking today about Mary Harris, otherwise known as Mary Jones. She's the most famous female labor leader in the 19th century. Mother Jones immigrated here from Ireland with her family at the age of 5. In 1871, she lost everything she owned in the Great Chicago Fire. She found solace at the Knights of Labor meetings, and after 1877, dedicated herself to improving life for all working people. She first displayed her organizational abilities in Pittsburgh during the Great Railroad Strike of 1877 and was a part of the strikes that led to the Haymarket Riot in Chicago in 1886. From that point, she concentrated most of her efforts on miners, and in 1902 was called the most dangerous woman in America for her success in organizing mine workers and their families against the mine owners. She was jailed in 1913 and at the unlikely age of 83 was sentenced to 20 years in prison. But the governor pardoned her, and she returned to Colorado and was present for the Ludlow Massacre the following year. She made a national crusade of that tragedy, even lobbying President Wilson. And back on the East Coast, she participated in several industrial strikes between 1915 and 1919 that related to World War I. Even in the post-war era, she was in her 90s and was still actively organizing local miners. Mother Jones Magazine was established in 1970 and is named after her. Thank you.
Are there further announcements and introductions? Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And just very quickly, it's a pleasure to serve with all of you. As you know, in appropriations, we always bring donuts, and there are a few extras from Dizzy's Donuts from House District 10 in the Speaker's District waiting in the antechamber. If any of you need any bit of a pick-me-up, there are some peanut butter and jelly ones, so just be aware if you have a peanut butter allergy, Representatives Landgraf and Janal do have auto-injector pens in case you have any allergies.
We make the best donuts in the state, of course. Highly recommended. Representative Ryden.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, just before this long weekend, want to remind you once again to be sure that you order your ticket to the United Veterans Committee Annual Awards Dinner, Sunday, April 19th. You should have a flyer on your desk from a couple days ago, and if not, you can go to their website, United Veterans Committee, and order your ticket. There will be over 400 veterans there from all around the state, and it really means so much to them to have us there supporting them. So thank you so much.
Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. So this weekend, members of the Jewish community worldwide will be celebrating Passover. And thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing us to have the day off tomorrow to help celebrate that. And so this is the story of Exodus, when the Jewish people left Egypt from bondage and came to the Promised Land. And so I just wanted to wish everyone a Chag Sameach, a happy holiday, and thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, today we have a couple of guests from the Boys and Girls Club of Denver and several students from Northwest Denver specifically. So I would just like to welcome you to the Capitol.
Representative Lebsack.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House local government, we do have one bill today. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Are there further announcements and introductions? Oh, dear. Representative Melton and Representative Everett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, we wanted to let you know that you get a day off from Bow Tie and Bolo Friday because we won't be here on Friday. And so we hope to pick this back up next week, but enjoy your time off. If you are at home, though, you might want to consider putting on a bow tie.
And in honor of last month's Women's History Month, that includes scarves, which Representative Melton forgot to mention.
Oh, that's right.
Happy holidays, folks. Are there further announcements and introductions? Seeing none, members, please take your seats. The next order of business is third reading, final passage of bills. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1159.
House Bill 1159 by Representative Art and also Senator Donovan concerning the in-stream flow incentive tax credit for water rights holders.
Madam Majority Leader.
Members, we're doing third reading. Please take your seats. Thank you. I move for the passage of House Bill 1159 on third reading and final passage.
The question is the passage of House Bill 1159 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine. With 37 ayes, 28 noes, and 0 excused, House Bill 1159 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1232.
House Bill 1232 by Representatives Janal and Landgraf, also Senators Todd and Martinez-Humana, concerning the emergency use of epinephrine auto-injectors by authorized entities in connection with making an appropriation.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1232 on third reading and final passage.
The question is the passage of House Bill 1232 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine. With 57 ayes, 8 noes, and 0 excused, House Bill 1232 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1270.
House Bill 1270 by Representatives Duran and Foote, also Senators Todd and Woods, concerning authorization for local education providers to operate pathways in technology early college high schools in connection with making an appropriation.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1270 on third reading and final passage.
The question is the passage of House Bill 1270 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine. With 37 ayes, 28 noes, and 0 excused, House Bill 1270 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1265.
House Bill 1265 by Representative Moreno, also Senator Ulibarri, concerning the issuance of a new birth certificate with a gender designation that differs from the gender designated on the person's original birth certificate.
Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move House Bill 1265 on third reading and final passage.
The question is the passage of House Bill 1265 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine with 40 ayes, 25 noes, and 0 excused. House Bill 1265 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Bill 198.
Senate Bill 198 by Senator Crowder, also Representative V. Hill, concerning modifications to the Colorado Water Conservation Board's fallowing pilot program in connection with expanding the program to allow an agricultural water right owner to lease an agricultural water right for temporary agricultural, environmental, industrial, or recreational use.
Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move Senate Bill 198 on third reading and final passage.
The question is the passage of Senate Bill 198 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine with 65 ayes, no noes, and no excused. Senate Bill 198 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1308.
House Bill 1308 by Representatives Moreno and Lawrence, also Senators Lundberg and Heath, concerning certain responsibilities of the legislative branch with respect to the State Measurement for Accountable, Responsive, and Transparent Government Act.
Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move House Bill 1308 on third reading and final passage, and am honored to carry this bill with my very smart colleague.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, the question before us is House Bill 1308. Mr. Kohler, please quickly open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine with 65 ayes, no noes, and no excused. House Bill 1308 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. The next order of business is consideration of Senate amendments to House bills. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1142.
House Bill 1142 by Representative McCann, also Senator Guzman, concerning the conduct of foreclosure sales by a public trustee in connection with authorizing the conduct of foreclosure sales through the Internet and other electronic media, and authorizing the collection of fees by electronic transfer.
Representative McCann.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Reluctantly, I move to concur with the Senate amendments.
Please proceed and explain this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a very small amendment that the public trustees wanted to just clarify a little bit how they will increase bids for in foreclosure sales if they do use the electronic program. So it's a good amendment. And I ask for an aye vote.
The question before the House is to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1142. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine with 65 ayes, no noes, and no excused. The motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1142 is passed. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1142 as amended.
The question before the House is the repassage of House Bill 1142 as amended. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine with 65 ayes and no noes. House Bill 1142 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. close the machine. I believe we're at announcements and introductions again. Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I'm very honored today to have some of my Commerce City peeps in the House. We have with us Mayor Pro Tem Renee Bullock, Councilman Rick Teeter, and Councilwoman Crystal Elliott, as well as some of the youth council members in Commerce City. If you can stand and if we can welcome them to the chamber, please. And members, I also I missed Councilman Steve Douglas. Thank you for being here.
Further announcements and introductions. Representative Foote.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Finance, we have a small change in the calendar today upon adjournment. Actually just a change in the order of bills, in case you were worried about that. Senate Bill 138 is listed right now last on the calendar. That will actually be first. That's Representative Wilson's bill. He's going to be first, followed by House Bill 1243, which is Representative Vihil's bill, and then House Bill 1260 from Representative Lee. That's House Finance upon adjournment, LSBA. See you there.
Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Transportation Committee, we will meet at 9:55. 9:55. We'll see you downstairs.
Representative Lundin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, you know that we fund phantom students as part of the school finance model. I want to introduce you to some phantom students. They're not here yet, but they'll be here at 10:45, I'm told. From Lewis Palmer Elementary School, they're fourth graders, and their teacher will be with them as well. So please say hello to the phantom students from Lewis Palmer Elementary.
Further announcements and introductions. Remember, members, don't show up tomorrow. We won't be here with you. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the House stand in a recess until later today at 1 p.m.
The motion is to stand in recess until 1 p.m. this afternoon. Seeing no objection, we will be in recess till 1 p.m.